the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast. 780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
On this edition of Thankful Thursdays, I'm thankful for winter holidays, which are coming up soon. We get to spend some time in sunny Mexico on a cruise ship. It's going to be fantastic.
The Professor, yes. A lot of, you know what, with this cold weather, what a time it would be to be taken off on a vacation. And you're going to start seeing your social media scattered, littered with photos from poolside bars, resorts. You're going away, Curbs, aren't you, after Christmas at some point to a all-inclusive or something?
Yeah, I'm going back to Cuba at the end of January.
Yep.
And know all your friends that are here in January are going to love those photos.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best part is, it does sting a little bit when it's minus, 30-some and you're scrolling Instagram and you see someone's feet on the beach and you're like, oh, man.
And one of those said people you're going to be calling asking for a ride from the airport because you don't want to leave your vehicle there.
All tanned up, wearing
All
shorts,
tanned up
34 below.
Yeah.
I love that. The people who get off the plane, no way, man. I'm keeping the shorts on. I want everybody to see my tan. I just got
Make
back.
the mad dash to
Clearing
outside.
customs in your sarong.
Still got the all-inclusive band.
Oh, yeah,
wristband
you
on.
don't take that off.
Got the braids in the hair.
Okay, stories from the drive-thru.
It's drive-through drama guy again. I called earlier this summer, I think, or I forget when exactly. But yeah, my issue continues to be with drive-through workers. No offense to them, but man, when I'm paying for my coffee or whatever it is in the morning, and my hand is still sticking out the window, pulling my arm back in, and my wallet is in my right hand to put my payment method away, be it change or bills or whatever. Don't try and hand me my coffee and my bagel or whatever while my hand is still sticking out the window. Oh, it happens every time.
Well, it is. They're doing their best. They know they have to be quick at the drive-thru. There's a big line. Like, I understand both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mad dash in the drive-thru.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You got to be prepared. Like, you can't, like, I feel like gone are the days where you get to the window and then you figure out how you're going to pay.
Oh, you got to be
like
ready.
When you're
be ready.
placing the order at the little talking menu thingy, you got to, like, get the card ready. You got to have it ready in your hand to tap.
Yeah. And we had this conversation much earlier this morning, and it turned into a salute for Delores at Tim Hortons on Dugald, who is fantastic. We all believe the best drive-through worker in the province. I'll throw that out there. I do believe it.
Well, yeah, she's getting a lot of accolades. I'm surprised there's not like some big dinner planned. Put her in the Hall of Fame.
Dinner.
Well, if there's a drive-through drama guy, there's got to be a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, Joe.
I mean, come on.
Okay, guilty. Not happy with Joe declaring that he's not a fan of beef stew.
Joe, my friend, I digress, or whatever. Stew is like a leftover. That used to be the go-to for my birthday, stew, potatoes, and pie paste. It's a good Scottish diet. Remember, the Scottish diet is based on a dare. I bet you wouldn't eat that.
I'll tell you what, Guilty. There must have been a lot of kids in the neighborhood that were hoping to get invited to that birthday party. Could you imagine?
Stew. Oh, God.
Guilty, you're one of a kind.
What are we having? Pizza? Hot dogs? No, beef stew.
Beef stew, and then we get right to the piñata.
Okay, we'll finish with a couple of calls about Phil and Joe's Grill and the possibility of getting a hot dog rotisserie or a Wiener rotisserie
This is
here
really taking off.
in studio.
You're not kidding. I didn't even think about the grill idea, but now we got to have a grill,
The
too.
grill, yeah. It's going to get busy in here quick.
PJ and K. You know what's better than Wiener Wednesday? Is Wiener Soup Day on Thursday. Yeah. Make some hot dog soup. Yummy.
No hot dog soup.
No.
We'll keep that off the menu. I think he's referring to when you boil wieners and that water that's left over.
That water.
Oh, man.
There's some merch suggestions coming in on the text line as well. Like if you guys want to sell T-shirts that say,
at some
I've
point.
tasted Phil and Joe's Wiener.
Yes, that's brilliant.
So good.
That's the kind of marketing we
I
need.
guess we'll order one in each size, see how those go.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Boston Pizza text line. Hey, Philly, Delores at the Timmy's on Dugald is the drive-through queen. She is.
We've heard that. You experience it because she's in your neck of the woods.
Go there every day. She is peak drive-through boss, man. No, I have never seen a drive-through in my life run the way Delores runs it.
Isn't that kind of nice, too? Because that's part of your daily routine. Like, Delores is now part of your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
it really is.
I wonder if she realizes the effect she has on people, being that
No,
they see her.
she's too humble for that.
Well, I just,
I know-
I'm sure she is, but it just it's just heartwarming to know that there are individuals out there that make people's day.
You know who should know it? The Tim Hortons people, not just her owner, because they're franchised.
Yep.
But the company itself. That's the kind of people they should use in their commercials.
Yeah.
Because they do wonderful, heartwarming stories of, a mom, pop, or grandparent at the rink with the kid.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see a Delores in a commercial.
Yes.
Because that's real, as real gets. I don't have that person in my life.
No.
I do
I'm
not.
sorry you don't.
I do not have a stop. I don't make a stop in the morning, and I envy people like yourselves that go.
Well, and a lot of the stops you make, you won't, all due respect to some of the other staff that are working their butts off, there's something about Delores that just everybody knows her who goes to that drive-through. She takes, you will go there, I feel like, all hours of the day, and she's on that drive-through mic, never screws up an order, always super cheery and kind to everybody. It really is old school.
I hope the owner of that location knows how good they've got it, and I bet they do, because you hear people that's a star that's shining right there in Dolores.
I think I got to step up and get her a Christmas card this year. Would that
Get
be
her a
too
Tim's.
much?
Get her a Tim's gift card.
Oh my God.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Hey, you got hot dog guy all excited. I'll chip in $65 if we can get Wiener Wednesdays rolling.
Wiener Wednesdays. Was that discussed as I guess that's how it all came up yesterday. There's a workplace out there. They listen to PJK on 92.1 City, and they have a Wiener Wednesday where they fire up the hot dogs on the rotisserie.
Paulie from Kenora said that's how they do things, and we didn't even know it was possible that you could buy a rotisserie for outside of 7-Elevens or movie theaters or hockey rinks.
Well, we even saw one guy had a toaster situation where you could stick 2 dogs in there with the bun and warm them up that way.
Yeah.
That one, though, will not suffice for what we're looking for, and I appreciate that hot dog guy of all people wants in on this. But I've done a little more searching, and I found a bit of a cheaper one than the $185 that I found yesterday. I found one on Amazon for $112, and it actually has a spot underneath where you can heat the buns too. So it's got a 4-bun capacity underneath, so you're heating up the buns. Plus, you've got the 4 hot dog roller on top.
4 hot dogs?
4 hot dogs, yeah.
That might not be big enough, Phil.
How long can they sit on there before you got to take them off and rotate a new one in?
No. That's the whole thing with the rotisserie. It rotates them so they evenly cook through, and they can stay there for days.
Days?
Well, for sure, 24 hours.
Kirby, I grew up going to the movie theater, and they show the movie 2, maybe 3 times a day. How do I know when I go on Wednesday that the same hot dog that didn't get sold is not rotating on Thursday?
I guess you just don't know. Nobody questions hot dogs now that I think about it. Honestly, people will see a hot dog cart and they don't care. They don't care where they get their hot dog from.
They're making them fresh, though, at the hot dog carts.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying anything against that, but
Yeah.
nobody questions a hot dog.
Well, no, I would say the better way to frame that is no one turns one down. Except, unless, you're vegetarian and it's not a veggie dog. But otherwise,
I get excited for a veggie dog.
But you're
Very few
already out of
people.
the mix here.
Yeah.
You said you didn't want a part of this.
I don't want a part because I can't trust that your guys' section of the rotisserie is going to touch my section and
Right,
get
there'll
your
be
meat
grease on there.
juices all over my veggie dog.
Well, I would assume we would have had to have bought a separate machine, but
2 machines in here now?
well, no, it's not happening. She's not chipping in.
no, I'm not in on this Wiener Wednesday.
And
You
I'll
guys
tell
go
you,
hard on it.
It's a moneymaker. I'll tell you, as soon as...
We're
Now
gonna
it's
sell
turning
them?
into a business?
We're going to sell them around the
Well,
office.
You know why? Because what's going to happen is we're going to cook them up. Someone's going to come in here and say, listen, guys, I got to have one of those hot dogs. And we're going to say, well, there's only a few here for the staff. I'll pay anything to have one of those hot dogs. And as soon as you hear that statement, cha-ching, business opportunity. And
You're taking advantage of people that are hungry.
why are we taking advantage?
It's a business.
They came in here looking for food and willing to pay for it. I'm not taking advantage of anybody.
financial
That's
transaction.
the way.
Why can't you just keep it to the both of you? Like, it could be your personalized hot dog rotisserie.
Oh, no.
Because
You
we're
can't.
thinking of others.
You got to think of others. And there's, like, imagine we're doing the show. There's going to be a lineup down the hall.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this is turning, like, we're going to have meetings about, Phil, you don't like meetings, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of meetings about this hot dog situation in
Who's
the
got
office.
time for meetings? We're going to be working, selling hot dogs. Someone's got to put the new ones on the rotisserie. I think we're going to need about 3 or 4 of
Staff?
these machines.
Do we hire someone to take care of this?
We're hiring another position.
It's going to stink up the entire building, though.
That's
right?
where how the things are going to start. Once the vents start taking over.
We already have a vent situation because it's too hot in this room.
Okay, we'll go back to that bigger one from yesterday. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
you have to, I think, Phil.
There's a huge one here, that original $186 one that has 4, 8, 12 on it. And it also has
That's
room.
the one.
Yeah, it has room up top for the buns, and it comes with the tongs. So you can grab the...
Well, that's important. You can't just go and
Hey,
stick your fingers
I'm
in
going to
there.
throw this out there right now. This is going to be the sample site right here. This is our first location. You see what happens. How about this? Wait till the Phil and Joe Grill opens up officially.
Phil and Joe Grill?
That's it.
Yeah!
Yeah.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Philly Joe and Kirby's Throwdown Thursday.
Yeah. Last week, we started the Christmas movie edition of Throwdown Thursday. It with Christmas Vacation up against Elf, and Christmas Vacation destroyed. And then that tells you how many people love Christmas Vacation, because Elf's also a great Christmas movie, but it didn't stand a chance.
I think this will be like the Thursday night or a coin flip game today.
Today's matchup, you think it'll be tight? Okay,
Yeah.
I think you're probably right. It's up at the 92.1 City Facebook page. Today's matchup, we've got Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin. This one from 1990.
Kevin McAllister
Going up against A Christmas Story.
with
from
Ralphie.
1983. And that Red Ryder BB gun. The lamp shaped
Oh,
like
yeah.
a leg.
Yeah.
Both
Classics, both still. They came back with another Christmas Story, didn't they? Like on
a couple
Netflix?
of years ago. Yeah, and it actually did well with reviews too. It was Ralphie growing up.
That's right. I'll tell you that A Christmas Story gets 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, while Home Alone only gets 66. I guess people didn't buy some of those.
Pratfalls.
Some of the falling down the stairs and the
There was a lot of like slapstick kind
Yeah.
of like comedy in that movie.
heating up the door handle, all those little
The burnt hair.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sure.
The booby traps.
But
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean-
good enough to bring them back for 2. Home Alone 2, I'll
That's
tell
right.
you.
Joe Pesci and others.
Daniel Stern.
I'll go Home Alone on this one, just because I know so many people love A Christmas Story, but for whatever reason, I don't have, and maybe I was just too young at the time, but I don't have a big emotional attachment to A Christmas Story. Whereas Home Alone, I've seen multiple times. I've now watched it with the kids, and I feel like it's enjoyable every time I watch it.
Right. Curbs?
Well, A Christmas Story is set in what, like 1940? So,
I wouldn't say that. I'd say the 60s probably.
well, for me, Home Alone it wins by a landslide just because it was like a huge movie for me in the 90s as a kid. And the concept nowadays of an 8-year-old being left behind on like a Christmas vacation or whatever, like when his family goes away, like is so funny because I would never play out in today's world with the amount of technology we have and stuff like that.
With phones and everything
But the
else.
concept
Yeah,
at the time
yeah.
was such a cool, like where the kid got to order the pizza and he got to go, downtown. And then it just was so cool.
I agree.
He was a cute kid and obviously a smart kid, and it just played out well. right? So well that they made a second one with him, and I don't think they were expecting big things. But the Ralphie character's pretty cute in A Christmas Story. The difference in that movie is the narration by Darren McGavin, right? He plays it up as the whole thing. But Home Alone has become a part of my Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
It comes up every year. I have to watch it again just for the slapstick.
Yeah.
Just that stuff. If I didn't watch the rest of the movie, as long as I watch that that 15, 20 minutes of the movie, it goes over big. But
and then there's the old guy shoveling at the end. Nice little story there.
Yeah.
Somebody says apparently there's 6 Home Alone movies.
yeah, well, they started making more of them without Macaulay Culkin. But
Oof, it's like
I didn't know
Storyline
that
can
many.
only go for so long.
Yeah. How many times can you be not home alone?
Well, before the kids
somebody
are
else
taken away by
says,
Child Protective Services. Like, jeez.
Well, how old are you by then, too?
Oh, no, I'm home alone. Oh, wait, I'm 19.
You were
man.
8.
This is awesome.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
There we go. Good morning, Matthew Broussard in studio with PJK on 92.1 City. And of course, whenever it's cold like this, and you don't mind, but we feel the need to apologize about the weather. Soon as we run into you, we're like, sorry about the weather. Like, we take full responsibility.
I get to leave at the end of the week, so no sweat for me. It's a little vacation,
In
something
and
different.
out.
Yeah.
But you don't mind. You
I
say,
like it.
Fully.
It's an extreme, and I think that's interesting. I like to go to cold places when it's cold because people know how to do stuff. I have a reverence for winter people.
You'd be amazed too here because we get out. It doesn't matter what the temperature is in Manitoba.
You keep
people
going.
go out.
Yeah.
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 And you're doing well, obviously, rumors. But I got this note already this morning. You're getting a lot of buzz from the New York Times, man. Isn't that unbelievable?
That's pretty neat.
That's got to be super
Pretty
neat. Yeah.
Yeah, that one
Especially
feels
since
good.
that whole Jamie Foxx story, because they got mentioned in the article as well as you. And I mean, there was the whole story about him almost dying. That's the hook into his special. And here's Matthew Broussard, who's just being a good New Yorker coming to Winnipeg, and he's getting the same vibe in the New York Times.
That's right. I'll ride Jamie Foxx's coattails as long as my grip holds. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So good for you, man.
I recently saw a clip of you doing a bit, and man, did it hit for me about your fiance's size of shoe.
Yeah? Are you 11?
I'm an 11.
Yep.
Oh my God, I've never felt so seen or heard in my whole life.
It's so funny because for a long time, she's size 11. She was a professional swimmer. That was her job security, was having those floppy flippers. But it's such a struggle for her to find shoes that fit because they stop at 10. They go, nope, we don't have it. They stop doing half sizes at 10. Oddly, if you're a math enthusiast, the average women's shoe size is actually between an 8.5 and a 9. It's just that the standard deviation is so narrow that 11s, and I asked, as I did in that clip, I asked crowds, who's a size 11?
Yeah.
It's very rare, often correlated with height.
Yes,
it's something you see
yes.
basically 1 in 100 times. It's just not
And
very
I
common.
am like 5'10", 5'11",
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that clip, though, because I found someone who broke a lot of rules, if you can. But the funny thing with my fiance is that she goes to stores. They have size 11. Usually it's a no. We can pick it up online. And they go, what about a men's size 9 or whatever? She goes, oh, no, it wouldn't fit me. I think she's lying. I think men's size 9. She goes, it's too wide. I think she just doesn't want to, make the leap
Wear
into
men's
shoes.
Yeah. Even if it was exactly the same, I think that it says M on the size. She's like, there's a barrier there.
Interesting.
Would you wear?
That was me when I played basketball. I always had men's basketball shoes because I had huge skis. So
Well,
my
no
God.
different than a dude probably doesn't want to wear women's shoes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
fair.
Or they really do.
Or, depending
And
on
they
the
have to
night.
keep it secret from their wife.
That is, there's that category as well.
I got your heels on when you're out, okay?
Why do these fit looser? I don't know, babe.
You're a little stretched
Rats?
out.
Maybe we have rats?
So good.
But yeah, when you're tall, you need a bit of a foundation.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I tell people. Yes, I got big feet, but
So she's a swimmer? You
She-
just
yeah, she
kind
swam
of
pro.
glossed. She's really
Pro swimmer when we met, yeah.
that's crazy.
That's how I met her. I was a fan of her swimming.
No
Were you-
way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Big swim nerd. Apparently, the queue for male swimmer groupies, not very long.
You got in there.
Yeah, not a lot. I was like, oh, everyone's going to be fighting tooth and nail to get with these hot Amazonian swimmer babes.
What, big feet?
Yeah.
Some people are going to NFL games. You're going to swim meets, right? With your face painted.
NBA wife. She
Took off the skull
chlorinated
cap.
ladies.
Hey, the skull cap came off, and it was love.
Really does it for you.
Can't see their eyes, can't see their hair. Their skin's dry.
Oh my God, that's
So
too good.
The smell of
She's on the
chlorine.
show, by the way. If you come out tonight, she's with me. She also does
really?
comedy.
That's
She'll be doing a
amazing.
spot. Yeah.
That's
love
really
that.
cool that you guys work together as
It's
well
nice.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you like traveling together and everything? Is that does it get tough sometimes?
Oh, it's nice because we get so little time with each other that it's when she can come with me, it's fantastic.
You know, everybody's going to be looking at her feet tonight up on stage, right?
That costs extra if you want to see him without the boots on. That's our meet and greet.
Can we get a picture with those?
Meet and feet, yeah.
Send us the link for her OnlyFans.
I posted that clip and it's doing pretty well online about her feet. And I'm like, I have not asked her about her inbox yet.
I'd be scared to go in there. Yeah.
So good,
Oh
man.
man, we do have tickets
Yeah, we do.
to see Matthew at Rumors this Saturday. If you want to go check out a show, all you got to text is Matthew to 762-555. We'll throw your name in a draw and we'll send you off to Rumors to see him.
Text feet.
Thanks.
Text
We'll
feet.
accept both. We'll accept both. Thanks for coming
The
in this
word,
morning.
not the picture, please.
Yeah,
Please.
we don't need pictures of your feet. So yeah.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Butter tarts everywhere, Kirby. Nobody minds if you're putting them out. Are you saying butter tarts does not qualify as a good dessert?
Well, I was at a Christmas party last night, and that was the dessert.
That's all we've talked about
Yeah.
this morning. I'm telling you.
From the moment she opened that door.
I'm telling you.
Christmas party.
stayed up
I was at a
late
Christmas
last
party.
night, and so I had a bit of a social life,
I'm
and so
gonna
you guys
start-
are hearing about it. Okay.
I'm going to start coming to all these events because I feel like
I
I'm
don't need a
already there.
date.
No,
We might as well.
this
We
isn't
might
about
as
you
well.
needing a date. This is about us just being part of it.
This is Joe. He doesn't want to hear about it tomorrow, so he's here tonight.
Well, no, that's not true. I did want to hear about it, but what time is it? 7:37.
2 full hours.
I've heard about it for the last 2 hours.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Butter tarts were the dessert last night, and I know how passionate Philly is about butter tarts.
You be careful. You be careful with butter tarts. I am the butter tart king.
It was a little underwhelming for you.
Yeah, it was like a plated dinner thing. And so, I would expect maybe like a slice of, I don't know, tiramisu or maybe.
Oh, look at you,
Okay.
Miss Hoity.
What was the
because I
dinner?
want a piece of cake.
Butter tarts didn't meet your requirement for the high-endness of the dinner.
But what was the dinner?
The dinner was like a full-on Christmas dinner. It was like
So turkey and everything else.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well, butter tarts around Christmas time probably followed the theme, right? I'm only thinking, and if you think really hard about a butter tart, it essentially is built like a piece of pie because you said a pie or a cake.
Yeah.
It really is. The crust is basically a pie crust.
Yeah.
And it's, so I think that was probably the theme, Kirby.
That's true. And it was a little larger than your normal butter tart cup.
Were there jam tarts in there too, or just butter tarts?
It was just like one large butter tart on a plate.
It was plated, yeah.
like it wasn't like
it was a giant
Whipped cream on
I
it?
see,
Yes.
Whipped cream
Okay.
on it?
Yes,
That's
they did it up
delicious.
with whipped cream.
Oh, you know what? I can't argue with the chef on that one.
That sounds
That's a pretty
good.
good choice.
Yeah.
But you know what you're doing right now is you're going to have friction with the
Butter tart
coordinator
community?
and the convener. Well, that too. But the convener of the Christmas party, the one that sat down and tried the food and came up with that, once they hear that you were not happy about it, you're going to have friction with whoever coordinated the dinner next year.
Well, here's the thing: is the dinner last year, we also had the butter tart.
Oh, but you
Bring
didn't
it for me.
complain.
I'm gonna bring it up at the next meeting.
You didn't complain
So,
last year.
I didn't, but you
No.
know, this is 2 years in a row, and someone's got to say something.
Throw it in your bag next time. Throw it in your bag and bring it for me.
You would eat it.
By
no,
the way,
we're going next year. I told
Oh,
you.
that's right.
You are not going to my
We
Christmas
have to.
party.
Yeah.
No.
Like Joe said, so
You
I
sit
don't
in the
have
back
to
of the
hear
room.
about it tomorrow.
These are our two volunteers. Thank you to Phil and Joe.
Why are these two here? Well, it's
So
a
they
long
don't have to hear about
explanation.
it.
By the way, I've taken over the pickup on the butter tarts. Melissa, the butter tart lady who dropped some off to us last year, or you picked them up. So I'm going to go pick them up this year. And she also is giving us a beef stew.
That's going right to your house, right?
Yeah,
is
that's
she-
for you, buddy.
Is she any good? No.
She's great.
Oh, she's awesome.
I'll
She's great.
microwave it here for all of us.
No.
Come on.
No.
Well, we know you don't like beef
No,
stew.
you can have my share of the beef stew. I'm quite happy.
Can
and
you eat it in the hallway, please? We don't want it in the studio.
I want it to plop onto the plate. Plop.
make the big sound splash over everything? Bring them a bib. Melissa, if you have a bib or an apron.
Sounds like I get all the tarts, though. Miss Auntie Tart over
She
here.
did win me over with her
I'll have a
tarts.
couple.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Buttered
They're
tarts.
super.
They are.
Melissa's one of those great people that could open up a business years ago. Like, she could be at every craft sale.
She's a fantastic cook. She is. Text line, when is Phil and Joe's Grill opening? 2025, the hot dogs.
First of all, I'm calling my lawyer. That's the second thing I got to trademark. The Phil and Joe Grill. I think it's going to catch on.
People are coming here for lunch now to get rotisserie hot dogs.
You know what, Phil? I think we might have to find a different location.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
50% of people said this should only take 10 seconds to do.
Get right at it here. Good morning, City. Do you have a guest for us for ZZ Top tickets? Hi, City.
Am I on?
You are on the air. Do you have a guest for us?
I'll take Phil as a lifeline.
Sure.
Phil, by the way, that's Phil, half of Phil and Joe's Grill. Coming
Rotisserie.
soon.
Rotisserie dogs
Yeah.
cooked in the office
We'll put that
environments.
on the sign.
Yeah.
Rotisserie
I
dogs.
really think
and
that's going to
food.
be a selling factor.
And more.
Who's not going to stop for
And
that?
more.
Did that side say rotisserie
And more.
dogs?
Just so when we open up the menu, we've got the and more part.
Make a lane change in traffic.
No, nothing to do with traffic. No.
780 City, 780 2484. Good morning.
Good morning. Is to check your email.
Check your email. No, I wish that was true, but working in this place, I'll tell you lately, they've killed the number.
Oh, there's a lot of
Lot of
emails. Well, this Christmas break is coming up. Eh? There's
Yeah.
a lot of important information that needs to get out there.
That's it.
Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Yeah.
You said it was something physical
Yeah.
or down that fast? Go for a leak.
No.
B.
No, not a break.
See, I thought about that, but 10 seconds is really fast.
It depends.
Depends how bad you got to go.
Depends.
I remember reading somewhere where like the longest pee ever recorded was like 19 minutes or something. And I
Oh,
thought,
well, okay,
that's
but that's,
crazy.
yeah.
What kind of
like,
bladder does that person have?
I'll tell you what, if that happened during like a Bomber game or something, I'll tell you, that guy's not making it out of there alive. Who the hell is still going?
That's a hell of a conversation at the urinal.
Yeah.
You're still hitting.
Bro, you okay?
He's still going.
ZZ Top tickets on the
Third
line.
quarter's over. He's still going.
That cannon's gone 4 times since you started. Hi there.
Morning, PJK.
Morning.
How about changing windshield wiper?
No, nothing to do with that.
Canadian Tire parking lot usually? Like, oh my God.
You know what? I'm going to give everybody a fair clue here because there's only one lifeline. So 50% of people said this should only take 10 seconds to do. It might happen when you are running into someone. And it's not shaking hands, okay? I'll take that off the plate for you, too. I'm really trying to be helpful today.
So you're encountering someone you know.
Yeah.
Hi, City.
Hey, good morning. I'd like to make an order for some hot dogs.
Yeah, well, how many do you want? We've got 6 on the rotisserie right
Hold
now.
on.
Are you
Start
guys
it off.
taking pre-orders?
Hey, you've reached the Phil and Joe Grill. How can we help you? Pre-orders.
You want sauerkraut on that bad boy?
No, wait. How many does he want first before
Okay,
we start
sorry.
offering
I'll
content?
take all 6. Let's see me out.
Take it all 6.
All 6?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, we got to
I gotta
revisit
cruise
this.
I told you, we're going to have to hire someone to work that grill.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, though. Do you have a
And,
guess?
so six hot dogs and 1 lifeline, please.
Philly or Kirby for the lifeline?
Home of the lifelines.
Let's go, Philly.
Order up, Phil.
So
50% of people said this should only take 10 seconds to do.
and did you, was it like you said it wasn't a handshake?
It's not a handshake.
Not a handshake.
But you're greeting somebody.
Yeah.
What about a hug if you're hugging somebody?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah!
home of the Phil and Joe Grill, where hugs are free. Yeah, if you hug someone, we're going to offer hugs and a smile.
So 10 seconds is as long as it should last. Anything longer than that is awkward.
Hugs are so popular that they say that a good hug should last 10 seconds. How many guys are out there bro hugging still and
10
people you hug?
seconds.
A 10
That's
second
too
hug.
long.
Sometimes
50%. Only half the people said 10 seconds.
Like longer embraced hugs that are kind of like, all right, you're going to let me go? Like
I went to hug Kirby last week. We got some good
that
news.
was weird.
We
Like
got some good news.
I haven't even recovered.
I came over. She looked at me.
She doesn't like hugs.
She looked at me like I had two heads.
But from
she
Phil,
looked at me like I just dropped from another planet and was trying to abduct her.
I thought you went to therapy or something.
It was
had a new way of life.
What are you talking about? We just had great news in here. I came over to give you a hug, trying to be a nice guy.
It's just so off, character for you. That's all.
Oh my
And I was like,
God.
are we hugging?
Yes, we had a very good day. Can you say why?
Well, the radio report card was very good for us.
Yes, number one.
Right.
So Phil, for the first time in his life, broke character and went in for a hug, and Kirby gave him a look like the poor guy will be going to therapy now.
Oh, yeah.
He's not hugging anybody, not even his kids.
I was mortified at the look she gave me coming in for a hug.
I loved it.
Man.
It was so good.
Anyway, I'll be okay. Who's this? James.
6 hot dogs, a pair of ZZ Top tickets with a wallflower sauerkraut on the side. Coming up.
And a hug. Stand by.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Add to cart. Joe, can I get your credit card number?
Again?
Well, no, just for this hot dog rotisserie.
Oh, the rotisserie.
I'll pay you for sure. And we've actually had some investors. Like, I guess that's what we have when hot dog guy calls in and offers $60 of his own money.
Yeah.
Does that make him an investor of Phil and Joe's Grill?
Well, we got to get some legal documents made up. If we can't afford to buy one of these rotisseries on our own, this business might be doomed.
Well, I hate
I love that hot dog guy wants in. His nickname's Hot Dog Guy, and we're starting with hot dogs.
That's right. So, yeah, we'll have to have lawyer up and make sure he's,
I think he's still working on the trademark for the Phil and Joe Grill.
Well,
it's a hit, and we've got some Sorry, Curbs. We
the
got
menu ideas.
Yeah.
People are coming in with menu ideas already.
A cup of Joe and a Philly cheesesteak.
That makes sense. We got to look at those.
That does make sense. I mean, obviously, those are you got to have feature items.
Well, now we need a coffee maker. We're going to need we need one of those Blackstone grills in here too. Then, well, you got the rotisserie for the hot dogs, but how are we going to cook up the cheesesteak? You need a grill, Phil.
That's right.
Can't be called the Phil and Joe Grill without a grill too.
Space,
and rotisserie. We'll throw that in.
And we'll have to get that restaurant HVAC system in here too, right? Where the venting.
Yeah, I don't think this place is gonna.
You're gonna have to relocate.
Yeah, so the menu's starting to come together.
Okay, well, speaking of the menu, like just because I don't want to invest in Phil and Joe's Grill.
Yeah. The Phil and Joe Grill.
Phil and Joe's Grill.
No, the Phil and Joe Grill.
Joe Grill.
Can you get it right?
No.
Whatever.
I don't
Whatever
know.
your
I'm
business is
that.
called, I just want to know, are there any plant-based options? What can I expect as a vegetarian coming to consume your menu?
Well, these are the kinds of decisions like, I'll leave this to you, Joe.
There'll be a sign at the door that says, plant your ass somewhere else.
Joe!
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Boston Pizza text line, you guys should sell at Phil and Joe's Grill grilled cheese sandwiches.
Makes sense.
They then have pierogies and meatball on a stick. I love a good grilled cheese, but of all of these ideas, meatball on a stick is the most intriguing. That is incredible.
I'll tell you what, can't put it on a stick if it's a very good, well-made meatball, because a very good, well-made meatball will crumble a little bit because it has to be made with beef, pork, and veal. That's the key. It can't be 2 out of the 3. It's got to be a little bit of everything mushed up there and made, because the stick won't hold it. It's going to be a meatball sub.
You're going to be elbow deep in all that meat, making the meatballs on a stick, Joe.
Yeah, no, I can't. The stick won't hold it.
Too many varieties of animals in one ball for me.
It's a lot of animals.
Well, here, let me throw it in there. It's really only 2. Veal is a baby cow, and then you have a cow. That's the beef part, Kirby, and then the other side is the pork.
You're not involved in this. You even tried to get yourself on the sign. You're trying to get people are suggesting the name.
People suggested that it would you could have a Kirby aspect to it, like it could be a curbside grill.
No, because we're not carrying any vegetarian. The only veggies you're going to see in that place might be a condiment, and I said might be because we haven't had a meeting yet.
This isn't one of your trendy.
Well, how am I supposed to support my friends in their
Upscale.
business adventure?
Well, you could have by supporting the business right from the get-go and becoming a partner, but you said no.
Yeah, well, you didn't sell me on the whole rotisserie thing. Like, this is, I think you're
Have you looked at the text line? People are sold. They're all in.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got investment
Right
offers.
now, I'm telling you right now, we would have a list here of at least 117 people coming to our restaurant if we opened or our food truck.
And they're going to be waiting the longest time
Well-
for your 4-dog rotisserie
No.
situation you're ordering.
Stop it. Stop. Like,
Well,
what are
we-
you doing?
That's an idea.
We have more than that. Our grill that we're going to buy, I just need Joe's credit card. What happened here? I timed out.
You need my Amazon account.
I think it
you
was
said.
12. It was 12.
You can have 12
Yeah.
hot dogs on there at one time.
Yes.
And it's you have to get your kinks out. Anybody that's owned a restaurant or bought into a restaurant, it takes a few months to get the kinks out, Kirby. It's going to take time.
Okay, well, somebody said you need to have chili dogs on the
yeah.
menu. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to have a solid chili to put on there.
Yeah.
Can I contribute the chili at least?
No, because that'll be vegetarian.
We're not doing vegetarian.
No.
What I'm getting here is just stay the hell out of my
We're going to
lane.
put a sign up.
Okay.
A picture
No
of you.
Kirby.
You pretty much
This
called
woman
that
is
yourself.
bad.
We asked you in from the beginning. And you said no. It was not even a heartfelt no. It was a no way.
We haven't even
Is that
opened
woman the
yet.
employee of the month? No,
No.
that's her face because she's banned.
We haven't even opened yet, and she's banned.
What did I do to get
person,
banned?
and it's a food truck. You can't even come in.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.